What if your world suddenly flipped upside down? What if time didn't matter, animals could talk, and tea parties never ended? Alice never expected that one curious decision to follow a rabbit would lead her to a place where logic bends and nothing makes sense. A caterpillar challenges her identity, a cat grins without reason, and a queen shouts, "Off with their heads!" at the drop of a hat. But beneath the nonsense lies something deeper, a journey of growing up, of facing the absurdity of life with a child's wonder and a growing mind. This is not just a fantasy tale, it's a dive into the wild, weird, and wondrous world of Alice, where the only rule is there are no rules. Welcome to Wonderland.
Before we begin, a quick message. Any digital copy of this content is piracy. Don't do it and stand against it. For new stories, subscribe to the Story Nexus at youtube.com passing to real Story Nexus. Don't go to fake Nexus. Want to know about upcoming stories? Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Links are in the description.
It begins on a warm, drowsy afternoon. Alice, a curious and bright young girl, sits with her sister on a riverbank. The sun warms the grass, birds chirp lazily, and her sister reads a book, a dull one, without pictures or conversation. Alice finds herself lost in daydreams, wondering what use a book is without excitement. Just as her mind wanders, a most unusual sight breaks the calm. A white rabbit, dressed in a waistcoat, muttering, oh dear, I shall be late." The rabbit isn't just odd. He carries a pocket watch, a symbol of logic and time in the real world. But in Wonderland, it's just the first of many strange twists. Without hesitation, Alice leaps up and follows the rabbit. Propelled by curiosity deeper than caution, she watches him dart into a rabbit hole, and before she knows it, she falls. The fall is no ordinary drop. It's long, deep, and surreal, like descending into a dream. She floats gently, watching the walls lined with cupboards, shelves, maps, and books. She even snatches a jar labelled orange marmalade, but finds it empty. As she drifts downward, Alice talks to herself, wondering if she'll come out on the other side of the world. Her logical thoughts mix with childish imagination, showing her mind teetering between reason and fantasy. Eventually, she lands, softly and safely. She finds herself in a long passageway with many locked doors. On a glass table lies a small golden key, which she hopes will open a door. It does, just one tiny door behind a curtain leading to a beautiful garden. But she is far too big to enter. And then comes the bottle, labelled "Drink Me." After ensuring it's not poison, Alice is a sensible girl after all. She drinks. She shrinks down to just the right size. But alas, she's forgotten the key, now far above her reach on the table. Her journey becomes a dance of scale and absurdity. She finds a cake labelled "Eat Me," and after eating it, she grows so large she fills the room and begins to cry. Her tears flood the floor. Moments later, she shrinks again and ends up swimming in a pool made from her own tears. There, she meets talking animals also trapped in the flood. A mouse, a dodo, a duck, a lory, and more. These characters suggest a caucus race to dry off. Everyone runs in random circles, no start or end, and everyone wins. Already, Wonderland begins to reveal itself as a world without logic or structure. It mocks rules, puzzles the mind, and challenges Alice's understanding of cause and effect. Her quest to reach the garden continues, but now she's also questioning who she really is. As she changes size and faces bizarre creatures, she begins to lose grip on the Alice she thought she knew. Who are you? After the madness of the Caucasus race and the endless changing of sizes, Alice wanders deeper into Wonderland, now only a few inches tall. In a shady forest, she encounters a curious sight. A blue caterpillar, perched atop a mushroom, calmly puffing on a hookah. His first words, "Who are you?" This isn't just a question. It's the beginning of Alice's identity crisis. Her size changes, her emotions shift quickly, and she no longer feels sure of who she is. The caterpillar's question hangs heavy. Alice tries to explain, but her thoughts are muddled. She's not the same girl who fell down the rabbit hole. The caterpillar is indifferent. He speaks in riddles and challenges. At one point, he demands Alice recite a poem, but the words come out all wrong. Wonderland is distorting her memory, her learning, and her very sense of self. Before slithering off, the caterpillar gives cryptic advice. One side of the mushroom will make her grow taller, the other will make her shrink. With careful bites, Alice finally gains control over her size for the first time. She begins to grow in confidence, realizing that she has some agency in this ever-changing world. She soon meets a pigeon who mistakes her for a serpent due to her long neck. The conversation again challenges reason, and Alice tries to explain, logically, but logic fails in Wonderland. Even truth is questioned here. Still, armed with pieces of the mushroom, she sets out to finally find that beautiful garden. "I have some wine?" "There isn't any." "Then it wasn't very civil of you to offer it." Alice enters a garden-like area where a long table is set under a tree. Here sit the Mad Hatter, the March Hare, and a Dormouse. They invite Alice to an endless tea party where time stands still, literally. It's always 6 o'clock, tea time. The Hatter explains that he quarrelled with Time, who stopped working properly. Now they're trapped in a cycle, moving from one seat to another, around the table to avoid the dirty dishes. It's a brilliant satire of routine, where nothing changes, yet everyone pretends it does. They speak in nonsense riddles, like the famous "Why is a raven like a writing desk?" Or Alice never gets a real answer. Neither do we. The Dormouse sleeps through most of the chaos, occasionally waking up to tell a surreal tale of 3 sisters who lived in a treacle well. Alice is frustrated. She tries to reason with nonsense, but Wonderland doesn't play by those rules. The tea party represents absurdity disguised as civility. It's a social ritual that masks meaninglessness. Eventually, she storms away, annoyed and confused. We're all mad here. Wandering away from the tea party, Alice comes upon a tree, and in it a wide, unforgettable smile slowly appears, followed by the rest of the Cheshire Cat. Unlike the other Wonderland creatures, the cat is self-aware. He acknowledges that everyone in Wonderland is mad, including himself and Alice. He doesn't pretend logic exists. Instead, he embraces the chaos with a grin. Alice asks for directions. He tells her, "That depends a good deal on where you want to get to." This moment strikes deep. It's about choices and paths. But in Wonderland, paths are not straightforward. The cat offers 2 options, the March Hare or the Mad Hatter. Alice has already visited both, which adds another layer of irony. Then he disappears, grin first, head last. It's as if the cat represents disembodied knowledge, a floating truth that appears and vanishes as quickly as thoughts in a dream. Alice eventually reaches the royal gardens, where she meets card-shaped gardeners painting white roses red. Why? Because they planted the wrong colour and fear the wrath of the Queen of Hearts. Just then, the Queen arrives. Off with their heads! The Queen of Hearts dominates the scene with her loud voice and violent catchphrase, "Off with their heads!" She's a caricature of authority, irrational, short-tempered, and obsessed with power. Yet everyone around her seems unfazed. Why? Because, as we'll learn, her threats are rarely carried out. Alice is surprisingly brave. She talks back to the Queen, who is shocked but intrigued by her boldness. The Queen invites Alice to play croquet, but not just any croquet. This version uses live flamingos as mallets, hedgehogs as balls, and the archers are formed by bending, playing cards. The game is chaos, no rules, no order, and players constantly cheating. It's organised nonsense, mimicking royal courts and bureaucracies that function under the illusion of control. The Queen's guards and courtiers all tremble in fear, but Alice begins to see through the illusion. The Queen has no real power. It's all an act. The King of Hearts, timid and quiet, often pardons those she condemns. The Cheshire Cat reappears in the sky, floating above the game, mocking everyone. The Queen orders his head off. But since only the head is visible, they can't figure out how to execute it. Alice laughs. Wonderland no longer frightens her. It baffles her, but it no longer controls her. Her journey of self-awareness is deepening. What is your name, child? After her chaotic croquet match and run-ins with the Queen of Hearts, Alice is ordered to meet the Mock Turtle, escorted by the Griffin, a winged, lion-like creature who speaks with great formality. The Mock Turtle is strange. He is shaped like a turtle, but with the head, hooves, and tail of a calf. He constantly cries and sighs for no clear reason. His name is a pun, Mock Turtle. Soup was a cheaper imitation of green turtle soup, a dish from Victorian England. Alice listens patiently as he recounts his education under the sea. He talks about subjects like reeling, writhing, ambition, and mystery, absurd parodies of actual school subjects. It's a clever mockery of Victorian schooling, filled with wordplay that would fly over most children's heads but land perfectly for adult readers. The Mock Turtle and Griffin then perform a bizarre dance called the Lobster Quadrille, involving imaginary sea creatures throwing lobsters into the ocean. Alice tries to follow the rhythm, but again, logic is elusive. When asked to recite a poem, Alice tries, but the words come out wrong, twisted by Wonderland's magic. She struggles to maintain a sense of self in a world that constantly alters language and meaning. The Griffin and Turtle, though entertaining, are self-important and prone to distraction. Still, Alice listens, curious and respectful, but she's clearly grown tired of the endless nonsense. Her tolerance is fading. Her confidence, however, is rising. Suddenly they hear a call, "The trial's beginning!" "No, no," said the Queen. "Sentence first, verdict afterwards." Alice arrives at the royal court for the trial of the Knave of Hearts, accused of stealing the Queen's tarts. The trial is a full-blown, absurd parody of legal systems. Jury is made up of foolish animals. They scribble nonsense on slates before the trial even begins. The King of Hearts, acting as judge, has no clue what he's doing. The Queen just shouts threats. Witnesses are unhelpful. The Mad Hatter testifies nervously. And Alice's old companions, the Dormouse and the Cook, appear briefly in chaotic testimonies. At one point, Alice realizes she's growing again, getting taller and taller as the trial proceeds. With her increased size comes a bolder voice. When the Queen yells, "Off with her head!" Alice laughs, unafraid for the first time. She boldly declares, "You're nothing but a pack of cards." And just like that, the courtroom erupts into chaos. Cards fly everywhere, attacking her like a flurry of paper soldiers. "Alice, wake up, dear!" As the cards swarm around her, Alice wakes up on the riverbank. The shouting of the Queen, the courtroom chaos, the creatures, they vanish in an instant. Her sister gently brushes leaves off her dress and reminds her, "It's time for tea. It was all a dream, but the dream has left an impression." Alice doesn't dismiss it as nonsense. It felt real, meaningful, strange. She recalls every detail. The caterpillar's question, the Cheshire Cat's grin, the Queen's fury, and the surreal rhythm of the lobster quadrille. Her sister smiles, encouraging Alice to share her imagination and storytelling spirit. The dream world fades, but the memory remains vivid. Back in the real world, Alice's sister reflects quietly. She imagines her little sister as an adult, still holding on to the wonder of her adventures. She pictures Alice telling stories to other children, tales filled with wild creatures, talking animals, and upside-down logic. Even as she grows, Alice may never truly leave Wonderland behind. This moment reminds us that the imagination is not a thing to grow out of. It's something that grows with us. The stories we carry as children become the metaphors that shape how we see the world. Alice's dream was not just fantasy. It was a journey of self-discovery, growth, and empowerment. Wonderland is more than a place. It's a mirror of the mind. It's where curiosity breaks boundaries, where nonsense challenges reason, and where identity shifts like smoke. Alice begins as a polite, uncertain child, and by the end, she is brave, thoughtful, and self-assured. Wonderland forced her to question everything, especially herself. And that's the heart of growing up, not knowing all the answers, but learning to ask the right questions. She enters a dream where rules collapse, but emerges with clarity.
And that's the end of today's story. But don't go anywhere because many more thrilling tales are coming your way. At the Story Nexus, we bring you the most exciting, mysterious, and unforgettable stories from around the world. If you love adventures, mysteries, and timeless legends, then hit that subscribe button now. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new story. Join our growing community of story lovers. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What story should we tell next? Want updates on upcoming stories? Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Links are in the description. Thank you for watching and see you soon for another amazing adventure only on the Story Nexus.